Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is Kyle and Drew with your sneak peek at next week. Episode number 504, where Drew and myself will be talking about comics originally releasing 4/10/2019, April the 10th, 2019. But before Drew and I get into what's coming out in your local comic book shops this coming Wednesday, do we have anything else from our listeners as far as feedback, sir?
Oh, yeah. They wanted to chime in on the proper pronunciation of manga.
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 Go ahead.
We had the big manga or manga discussion. Well, it wasn't that big, but our listeners have some opinions. So J.R. Phoenix says, I have called it manga for years. And James from Cowabunga, Eric's partner, says, I like to say manga just to rile up one of our old employees. I say it like Tony Montana would have said it. Mang.
Manga.
Manga. And then Samurai Godzilla weighs in with definitive information. He says, in English, manga's man sounds like Batman. In Japanese, manga's mon sounds like monster. So, basically, both pronunciations are okay.
Well, that's very anticlimactic. I'm actually very upset by that.
But because I'm an English person, it's okay that I say manga. I think that's what he's saying. He's giving me permission, which I like. I like to get the little positive reinforcement from the listeners. It makes me feel good that I'm not so off base.
Excellent.
We might hear how off base I was with my lack of knowledge of Shazam backstory from our previous episode on the Shazam movie. I knew very little about the character, and I felt woefully underprepared for the episode. So, let us know how bad it was. After you've seen it, of course.
Yeah.
He wanted to weigh in on when we talked, there was a listener question about the next indie crossover star. We were the next Donny Cates, and Don wanted to not Donny Cates, but the listener Don wanted to know.
Just tell me it's Donny Cates, okay?
Yeah, it's not, definitely not. And he wants to know that he also really likes Zach Kaplan. He thinks he can make the move. A big fan of Port of Earth. Looking forward to reading Eclipse. And he's also checking out Lost City Explorers from Aftershock that Zach Kaplan wrote, which I knew about but I've missed. So that was a good reminder that that's out there. So also backing up another positive reinforcement for Drew, making me feel good about my choices.
Which is really all this podcast is.
It's really all it is. Mo wants us to know that DC's Walmart books will now officially be coming to the direct market and comic book shops over the summer.
Yes, I read that.
Wants to know if we'll be ordering them in that format, or we were sticking with our Walmart version.
I think we've made our money on it, and I don't think there is a market for quote unquote second prints.
True. And I didn't read any of mine. I purchased them and sold them all unread because that's what I put in my description. I didn't want it to lie to the eBay customer, so I didn't read them. So this would be my first chance to actually read them. And if they collect them, like I want the Tom King Superman story and the Brian Michael Bendis Batman story. That's pretty much all I want.
Yeah.
So if they collect that as like a $7-8, collection, because they were like 12 pages in a volume or something.
Sounds about right.
If they collect a bunch of those for a reasonable amount, I will get those, so I can finally read them. But I don't want them all. Nope. No, thank you.
The ship has sailed for us.
Yes. Chris asks, with War of the Realms out this week, at cover price, if you're all in, you're going to spend over $1,000 to buy everything.
Jeez. Wow.
I'm going to pass. What are you guys picking up? Well, I am going to read probably that many.
Yes, I'll do that.
And if I'm already reading something that's a tie-in, I will read that. I will not be stretching. And I'm just probably going to sample the first couple issues. If War of the Realms sucks, I'm not going to stick with it. I'm not that invested. Even though Jason Aaron, I know he's great, but I'm kind of not in the Thor mood anymore. So I'm going to check it out and then read whatever I normally read. That's my plan. Kyle, you even reading it?
I'm going to read just the first couple of the actual War of the Realms, and unless it blows my socks off, I'm going to quit right there.
Yeah, that sounds good. But I know there are people that are completely all in.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I've been there with Spider-Verses, so recently I've done that, so I get it. Matt shared with us the Joker trailer and said, I am all for this. It looks like an excellent character study, and Joaquin Phoenix is extremely talented. Some of the best comic book stories are when the focus goes on a compelling villain, and Joker is most certainly that. At the very least, it looks way more interesting to me than almost anything DC has been able to bring to the big screen lately, so I'm willing to give it a chance. Well, you haven't seen Shazam yet, but...
That's right. I am super, super, super conflicted on this, Drew. I like Joker shrouded in mystery. Mm-hmm. I like knowing as little as possible about him. I think that makes him more ominous, and that's always been my thing, is don't tell me anything, just let the mystery be part of the reason it's so scary. Also, I got in an argument with a friend of mine at work because he is very anti this movie, because from what some of the things we've heard, it's going to be Joker kind of versus Thomas Wayne. And canonically, he's a big fan of Thomas Wayne being a completely, truly good guy, because that's part of what makes Batman's vengeance of his parents' death such a good thing. And if it turns out Thomas Wayne isn't that good of a guy, it takes some of the luster off of Batman.
Could it be Earth 2 Thomas Wayne, who is actually Batman?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things.
So it could be an Elseworlds almost, maybe. Mm-hmm. And that would give DC the out to where, well, this is the Joker origin for Earth 2.
Yeah.
But not the regular Joker.
Yeah, and we talked about that thing. And I see where he's coming from on these kind of things. So I'm interested, but I think it has just as much potential to kill it as it does to make good things. But I do like Joaquin Phoenix.
Hey, and we've had some Joker portrayals that have been pretty stellar, I think. So
yeah, no doubt.
I think Joaquin Phoenix can pull it off. I want to see it. I don't know if I want to go to the theater to see that or not. That's going to be dark and gruesome, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I do want to see it. I know I want to see it for sure. I'm just not sure if I'm going to go to the theater to see it or not.
There you go.
Mike Meyer says, hey, somebody probably already told you this. This would be in reference to my discussion about Ahoy comics and wanting to sample them because they're finally in Diamond. Mm-hmm. I was wrong. Ahoy has always been available through Diamond, the first and the second wave. You are thinking of TKO, and they have no plans to ever go to Diamond. You're right, Mike. I'm dumb. I got my publishers completely confused. So, yes, Ahoy is not TKO. I got them confused. Ahoy was always available, so it really wasn't that special that their comics are out.
So take it back and get a refund.
So if I pressured you to add that to your pull list, I apologize.
This will be the first time Drew has steered you wrong.
Yeah, first time. Yeah. Alan from Relatively Geeky says, I heard on another show, how dare you, sir, listen to another show, that the recent solicitations for IDW are concerning. Very few books, lack of firm publication dates, etc. Curious as to what you two think of that, as you spend more time with this stuff than I do. Do you sense IDW may be in trouble? Well, there was an article in the end of March about IDW hiring J.P. Morgan to right-size the organization for a possible sale. Mm-hmm. But as far as like its output, IDW does a lot of licensed properties.
Yeah.
And so they just relaunched Transformers. They do, and on the collected side, they do really great trades, really well, like great book binding and stuff, well thought of in the industry. So on that side, I think they're doing good stuff. But you're right that their original content seems to have kind of slowed to a trickle. But they do have a lot of licensed properties still. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You could definitely be right that there's trouble there. I didn't do like a count to see if their offerings have really fallen off that much. But yeah, it's quite possible in this industry for sure, right? I mean, these publishers could all be in trouble pretty.
Yeah, and it's just been so long since they've had like a big hit. I mean, they're trying to be steady Eddie with some of their stuff, but I can't think of the last IDW thing that really piqued my interest.
Lock and Key.
Yeah.
Is that how far you got to go back to like the real long-running, can't miss property that they were cranking out? I think it was Lock and Key, and that was a long time ago. So they've had some 5-issue miniseries here and there that have been solid, but that's not enough to build a
and I'm looking at the top comics of 2018. I'm into 363, and I've yet to see the first IDW book, and I've already seen booms and images and all kinds of stuff. They're just, I mean, they're not even getting stuff that jumps and peaks, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I think their G.I. Joe still sells solidly. I think, we're talking sub 10,000.
So the highest selling IDW book of 2018 was Marvel Action Spider-Man #1 at 41,000.
And they do have that part,
splitting that with the partnership with Marvel.
They do have that partnership with Marvel where they're putting out Star Wars Adventures and a lot of kids books. Like they're launching like a Care Bears thing and stuff. So they're.
I can see them being purchased by Marvel.
I could see them being sold and spun off, and that's definitely true. Marvin wanted to give us a heads up. I hope you have stacks and stacks of this book. Major X's first appearance is in Spider-Man Deadpool #47, and it is blowing up on eBay. Well, that's baloney because I'm angry. I thought Liefeld said this is his first appearance of his new character, and he's releasing it in Major X #1. So that makes me upset.
He specifically put a tweet that said this is not his first appearance.
So Spider-Man Deadpool 47 is not his first appearance.
That is the issue 1 is not his first appearance. Is what I was looking at the tweet today.
That makes me angry. I went heavy on that book, man.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, because I thought it was going to be the first appearance.
It's true.
But
it still could be an important book.
We'll see. We'll touch on this later. Wolf says, can the Immortal Hulk get any better? Yes. #16 is fantastic. It's such a key issue for this run. Al Ewing is killing this Hulk. Multiple copies on deck. I grabbed a couple of 16s myself. Good stuff. Hulk is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. I believe Drew's pick of the week last week.
It might have been. Wade Ledden has a question about Immortal Hulk #16. Is it a new key? Have either of you read this yet? I think there could be 2 first appearances and a death. Not that deaths are really a big deal in comics. My question is, what constitutes a first appearance? Just being in the background, being in the foreground, being named, being interacted with, having a speaking line, being in costume, being on the last page teaser? Just curious what your thoughts are on this. So this goes back to the Mr. X, because I think that was a cameo appearance in Deadpool Spider-Man, or Spider-Man Deadpool. So, Kyle, do you have thoughts on this?
I think changes with a whim, and like there's powers that be that just change it whenever they want to. Because there's things that I consider a cameo that are first appearances, and there's things that I friggin' consider a first appearance that are just cameos, and I can't keep track.
Because I mean, look at. Well, I'm going to hold my comments because I sent this out to Eric from Cowabunga because I think he knows better than us. So he sent us this response. This is from Eric. At times it seems that first appearances are subject to the crowd's discretion. Things like Hulk 181 over Hulk 180. Are there modern keys that's a perfect example. Like Hulk 181 over Hulk 180 is like, well, not really, but it's, it's this Spider-Man Deadpool thing versus the actual first issue of the thing. If it's a cameo in the Spider-Man Deadpool, why is that not the Hulk 180?
Yeah.
Why is it really that hot? I don't know. Anyway, he says, are there modern keys that will hold their value? I think you can say most assuredly that yes, there are. Watchmen #1, Walking Dead #1, Batman Adventures 12. More specifically to Immortal Hulk, will that remain a high-value key? That's really up to how Marvel and their creative teams choose to use him. Things like Squirrel Girl and Captain Carrot, even Rocket Raccoon, have seen jumps in price over the past 5 years. Okay, maybe not Captain Carrot, because of how they are being used. If the character is being used, then it will remain hot. Think Hulk 181, Batman Adventures 12, Walking Dead #1, Watchmen #1, Detective 359, Detective 27, etc. If the character remains relevant, then the first appearance does too. For you spec folks, my suggestion would be for you to watch the price of Saga #1 over the year hiatus. It may be a chance to buy lower than you normally would while this series is going away. As always, though, the price of keys is dependent on the market, and what the market generally wants what is hot in discussion. So I think he's saying Immortal Hulk is a key for now. And is it a long-term hold remains to be seen. Is that what you heard?
Yes.
And everything that he rattled off, well, half the stuff he rattled off I'd already sold. I either never had it or I've already sold it. Golly.
Yeah.
He didn't put ASM 300 on there. That was nice of him. Thank you, thank you, Eric. I know he's flying all over the country dealing with the work stuff, and he still took time to write a response to us. So we thank him for that.
How is this friggin' cameo appearance still getting $35-$40?
It's crazy.
Spider-Man.
60.
Granted, that's a tiny run.
60.
Yeah, 60 for that plus Major X.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Major X is getting cover. That's baloney. Anyway. Michael Lim says, hey, there's a huge announcement from DC at WonderCon this week. Many of you have said you'd like more comics to read on DC Universe, so we're going to give you more, thousands more, at no extra charge or increase in the price of a subscription. DC Universe subscribers will be able to enjoy access to DC's enormous digital comics library starting in April of 2019. And each of the new comics will appear at least 12 months after it was published. That's over 20,000 comic books.
That is pretty awesome.
And I think they also follow that up with, in honor of Batman's 80th anniversary, you can get a month subscription for 80 cents. So if you wanted to check out Titans or Doom Patrol or some of these 20,000 comics that are available, this would be the month to do it. He also was on to say Titans Season 1 was awesome.
Yes.
Seeing Dick Grayson in a transition period between Robin and Nightwing was a real interesting take on the character. Have you seen the show? What was your take on it? I did not.
I'm still catching up. I've seen some. I like it. And I got to catch up and give the rest. Hopefully by the next week I'll have them all done.
Yeah. He says, I am still recovering from the Deadly Class finale. If Sci-Fi doesn't renew for Season 2, I will be very disappointed. The comic was perfectly adapted.
Yeah.
I really wish AMC or Netflix would have taken a chance on this to draw in a bigger audience. I was so pleasantly surprised with how Sci-Fi handled this property. It was really well done, and an amazing adaptation of like the first arc and a half, maybe, if that. I don't even know that. I don't know that they got through eight issues. But that was the first season. So we've got some real cool plot twists in the coming arcs that need to be filmed. So season 2 better happen for sure. Yeah. And I know just what the cliffhanger will be. So get to it, Sci-Fi, whatever it takes. Let's see. He says I just got DC Universe and it's worth it for the original TV show programming alone, which is nice to hear. He said this is going to be a significant challenge to the Marvel Unlimited, which currently has 25,000 comics. So if DC has 20,000, it's right there with it.
Yeah, no kidding.
DC already has the movies, the original TV shows, and now how close to the same amount of books. So maybe Marvel needs to add movies and TV to their Unlimited app to compete.
They're working on that, I think.
Oh, are they? Yeah.
Or aren't they going to do their own Netflix type thing? They maybe end up with a bundle, or maybe that's just Disney in general.
I think that was Disney in general, but yeah, it makes sense. Hey, congratulations again on 500 episodes, guys. I'm a little late. Anyways, here's to looking forward to episode 1,000 in the future. I can't even imagine that, but thank you. We appreciate that very much. And we appreciate all our feedback, and thank you guys for writing in. You can do so at comicsfunprofit.com, where you can find all our links to contact us. You can reach us via email, comicsforfunandprofit@gmail.com. Go to Twitter at comicsfunprofit, on Instagram at comicsfunprofit, or on Facebook, Comics for Fun and Profit. Those are the ways to reach us the best. We'd love to hear from you. And if you'll take one of our shows and retweet it on your Twitter page and leave us a comment at Comics Fun Profit, you will be automatically entered in our Twitter contest, which gets you some cool signed comics from our listener Jason in Hawaii, who donated them from Amazing Con. So we've got some cool stuff to send you. All you have to do is share and comment on our episodes over the course of the month of April. And in May, we will get a hold of you and send you out your sweet swag.
There you go.
Now, I think we're ready for FOC.
Yeah, of course, FOC is your final order cutoff. It's something we like to peruse that's about 6 weeks before a book comes out. It's our final opportunity to request our LCSs to get additional copies from Diamond, so we are not left out in the cold. Of course, we get a wonderfully curated list from Eric at Cowabunga, who sends this out via email to his subscribers and his listeners. If anybody would like to be on this list, you can reach out to Eric at cowabungacomics.com to either order some of this stuff, or he is goodly enough that if you just want to receive these lists to make sure you don't miss anything, he'll put you on the email list for that as well. Of course, these FOC items are due by noon to your LCS on Monday, and Drew and I like to look through these because we have found some gold on things that we have either missed on the previews or caught fire late, and this is our chance to add or cut before it is too late.
So you'll be submitting this on the 8th, and these are things that are coming out on the 1st of May. So, 3 weeks before they're coming out, you're able to up your order, reduce your order, whatever. And that's really kind of a valuable tool. People need to take advantage of this, so you don't miss out.
Yeah. We have no recommendations, unfortunately, from Eric, so we are just going to jump right into Dark Horse.
I have very little recommendations in Dark Horse as well.
Yeah, not a whole lot from me there either. Actually, I don't think there's Only a few traditional comics coming out from Dark Horse that way.
Yeah, not a lot.
All right, DC, we have Batman number 70. Cruising right along.
What's this one about?
Leland Yu on the cover B. The Fall and the Fallen.
Is this Okay, so it's a Bane storyline.
Locked in Arkham Asylum with his worst enemy.
Okay, cool. Need to kind of right the ship there. It's been meandering a little bit.
We get the hardcover for Batman Damned coming out. Will the Wang make an appearance?
Check out that Dan Moore cover for Adventures of the Super Sons.
Ooh.
With the young kid version of Lex Luthor, Joker, Mr. Freeze. Who else? That Brainiac back there.
Doomsday.
It's great. It's just great.
Clayface, yeah. The third installment of Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 coming out. We've got James Tynion IV continuing to do these, Freddie Williams continuing to do art, and the first issue of these is being made into an animated series of sorts, so no reason not to jump onto this. And of course, these are being co-published by IDW.
Was the last batch an IDW offering that was co-published by DC, and this is a DC offering that's co-published by IDW?
I can't remember. I know the first one was DC. I can't remember the second one. I have them, but
okay.
I can't remember what it was.
Or maybe they all came through DC then. They're like, slow down. You can have our Star Wars adventures, but you're not getting our Batman.
Do we really have a second print of a Batman black and white Batman Who Laughs statue?
Is that possible?
I don't know. It's Batman second edition statue, so maybe the other one was a different one. I thought that was kind of rad.
This is the last chance to get Deceased, written by Tom Taylor. You got some Greg Capullo doing a cover there. You got a horror variant.
Yasmin Putri with the It cover.
I mean,
it's dope.
I think you'd be foolish not to get this.
There you go. DC's Year of the Villains. It's a friggin' quarter. Go ahead and get it.
Yeah. We got a few of those coming in.
Only having to reach $80 to get that 1 in 500. It's the cheapest 1 in 500 you'll probably ever get.
You know, you're not wrong there. That's a good point.
Yeah, and a really good cover. So, interested in the 1 in 100, 1 in 250, or 1 in 500 of these, reach out to Eric, because the best deal I've seen is right here.
Then that's a Batman Who Laughs appearance. He's a very popular character. $80 for a 1 in 500 variant. Man, that seems like a good deal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Then what's the 1 in 250 Lex Luthor look like? It's Alex Maleev.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, but not as nice.
Oh, it's Art Germ on the 1 in 100. Crap, that's the cheetah cover. Oh no.
And that's only $18
yes.
for a 1 in 100 Art Germ. Well, that's tempting, man.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, and I will bet you, if you wanted all three of those, you could even get a better deal.
Yeah, I bet you could. Wowzers.
That's interesting. You got like 2 days to think about this.
I know, shut up. One of my favorite Frank Cho Harley Quinn B covers. Really fun Catwoman cover.
Where is it? Harley Quinn B?
Yep.
61. Oh, man, that's great. That's a great one.
Don't know a lot about Jerome Opeña, but a wonderful cover B on the Justice League 23 as well. Man, there's so many good cover Bs. Holy cow. right, Drew. Anything else in DC for you, sir?
I'm still looking at that Jerome Opeña. That is nice. Yeah. No.
All right, down to IDW, and here we have Eve Stranger #1, the Black Crown imprint from IDW, written by David Barnett with Philip Bond on the art. You have unlimited phones, a jet-set lifestyle, and extraordinary abilities, and your bloodstream is filled with nanobombs. The contents of a syringe will deactivate them for a week and also wipe your memory. So what happens when you develop a sneaking suspicion that you're actually working for the bad guys? Eve Stranger, amnesiac for hire, high-octane thrills, impossible missions, doomed romance. Sometimes I think there's just too much going on with characters and I can't keep up.
I get it. You know, let me just fly back up here to this Year of the Villain again.
Okay.
So, if I bought 1,000,
are you mathing?
If I bought 1,000 Year of the Villains,
$250
at 15 cents a piece.
Oh, 15. I'm sorry, with your break. Yeah.
15 cents a piece, right? That's $150, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I get 2 Batman Who Laughs, 4 Lex Luthors,
yeah,
and 10 Cheetahs.
Yep.
Well, I don't, but Eric would.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So if you and I put 150 together, that's 75 a piece.
That's only 75 a piece.
And then everybody who orders books from us for the next 2 years gets a
free DC Year of the Villain. How cool is that?
Oh, that is so tempting.
I know, right?
Holy crap. Oh.
Okay, back to IDW.
That's the only thing that piqued my interest. I looked at these Goosebumps, but they're not R.L. Stein, so I moved on with my life.
Yeah. Die has another second printing for issue 5.
And we're down to Image. Okay.
I mean, I believe so, unless you wanted to talk about
No,
Uncle
just
Scrooge.
making sure we're all on the same page.
Let's see. There's that Gogor #1. That didn't appeal to me that much. It was Ken Gehring doing the writing and the art. I think I have 1 coming.
Yeah, that was an odd one.
I did. Yeah, it seemed kind of odd. I didn't go heavy on it. Just a few issues left of Paper Girls, I think, right? I'm getting close to the end. Self-Made, still really good. There's a Walking Dead 191. Let's see if anything. This is the solicit is the last stand. Words are spoken. Alliances are broken. All the troubles that's been brewing in the Commonwealth finally comes to a head. And there's Rick with his bloody stump in the air. Interesting. And I think that's all I had from Image.
Solicits are getting bigger for those Walking Deads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing else in Image either. Down to Marvel.
Let's see. Amazing Spider-Man continues to sell really well. We got a second printing for 18. I believe that was like the prelude to the Hunted storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Which is doing really well. It's another printing of that Avengers No Road Home, issue 7.
Really like that Declan Shalvey B cover for Cosmic Ghost Rider. Of course, Drew, we can see that Major X #1 goes to a second print.
Yeah. Quick.
Yeah. Of course, #3 coming out as well. Savage Avengers, Drew. Jerry Duggan, Mike Deodato with a David Finch cover. Looks like we got Wolverine, Elektra, the Punisher, Conan.
Yeah, people are excited about that. I am not, so
Venom
I'll be
and somebody else.
skipping this one. Let's see. What's Star Wars AOR? Age of Republic?
Yes, correct.
That's Han Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Han Solo. Oh, geez, here we go. Are you Han or you're Han, right?
I'm a Han guy.
You're a Han guy. I mean, I think we've actually heard it pronounced in the movies, so I should probably back off my hand. Let's see, we have True Believers, Avengers, Origin of Mantis, Hulk, Wedding of Rick Jones, and then some recent Star Wars, it looks like.
Yeah, some stuff from just the year 2000.
Well, Origin of Mantis is from... Huh. Oh, this Mantis from the Guardians of the Galaxy?
I'm assuming, yeah.
Oh, okay. It's interesting. We've got that X-Men Grand Design Extinction, the first issue of 2. Final 2-issue miniseries for that Ed Piskor book.
Mm-hmm.
Last chance to get that. That's probably all I have.
This is the third Grand Designs, isn't it?
Yep, the third set. What did I say?
No, that was just done. As I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, that's one, two, that's 3.
Yep.
All right, that's all for me in Marvel. Let's get in down to some other publishers. Not a lot.
Not a ton. Oh, is that a Wando Descendant #1 on the A cover? Yeah, I always liked him, but that's not his best work. This is an Aftershock book, Descendant #1, written by Stephanie Phillips.
I got a couple of these, I think.
I think I liked the solicit. It was like espionage or kidnapping or something like that.
Yeah. There's your Sellies #10.
Yes, exactly. Here's another chance to get into a Zenoscope book with Dragon's Blood #1. I don't think this is going to be it. Devils #2. What is that? Antarctic Press. Our darling of a few months ago.
Yep. Matthew Spradlin. That looks interesting.
It does.
Sorry I missed the first one, yeah.
It looks like we missed out on the first one somehow.
All right, Drew. It looks like the biggest difficulty with this FOC is how DC Year of the Villains pull the trigger. Do you do? 'Cause that's some craziness right there.
That is
such
nuts.
tempting. It is very rare that you and I are ever in the league to pull the trigger on 1 in 1,000. Craziness. But of course, if you guys have an LCS that does FOC, make sure you get in there by noon. And if not, and something here really piques your interest, reach out to our friends at Cowabunga, because they will always take care of you. Anything else on the FOC, Drew?
No, that'll do it.
All right, then we should probably head over to our actual release week, see what April the 10th, 2019, Drew and I will be at previewsworld.com. And we're going to start where we love to start. Let's start in Image.
Fair Lady #1. This is Brian Shermer and Claudia Balboni. It's got a good, clean look to the cover. It reminds me a little bit of Copperhead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The look of the characters, but it's not the same creative team. I mean, it really feels reminiscent of that. But this time instead of a sheriff, she's a private investigator. So that's one to keep an eye on.
There you go. Cross between Magnum PI and Fables.
Yeah. Gunning for Hits has been fantastic.
There you go.
Really been enjoying that. Little Bird seems to have sold through quickly.
Yeah. Prodigy almost over. Wow, it seemed like it just began.
Mm-hmm. Another cool Murder Falcon B cover.
Yeah.
For issue 7. What did we decide that was?
I knew at one point, but cannot remember.
Dio.
Yes. Yep, that's exactly right. All right. Anything else?
No.
Let's head on down to Dark Horse. I will be getting Anthem number 2, prequel to the BioWare anticipated game that I have been playing. I have 46 hours in that game at the moment.
Time well spent.
Not really, but time avoiding family. Ooh, I really want that Anthem journal. How did I not see that?
Now, has this Astro Hustle been canceled?
Oh, yeah. Johnny Nitz.
Yeah, who did what he do?
He hit on a college girl.
Was that it?
I think. I don't know. I don't read those things.
I don't remember what he did. I don't remember what it. Something. He did something bad.
Yeah.
So it's probably canceled, right?
Allegedly. No.
You in the bag for Jay Nitz. Defending your boy. That's awesome.
I think we all know I'm a... Never mind. Okay, moving on.
She Could Fly is coming back. All right.
Oh, that's right. Well, how many issues was the first portion of this?
I think it was 5.
5, and we got another 5 issues here.
Yeah. I didn't make it through the first 5, though.
So are these Dark Horse journals a new thing? That's pretty rad. There's one for Umbrella Academy as well.
What is that exactly?
Looks like just a $20 journal.
Oh. Oh, so like properties that you just has your favorite little property on the cover of it, and then you just scroll your Dear Diary. Kyle was mean to me. Kyle made me cry again.
Allegedly. And IDW has not much, so nothing to even talk about then there. All right, down to DC.
Your boy Francesco Martina is doing a heck of a 68 Batman.
Oh my goodness, look at the angry Batman.
Angry Batman. Because you liked the strapped Batman from a few weeks ago, right?
Yes. There are some good Batman Who Laughs covers, including that cover B.
Then we got an art germ Catwoman.
Jock cover A on Batman Who Laughs. These are tough decisions we talk about.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Kari Andrews is awesome. That's great.
Yeah. Art germ cover B on Catwoman. That's all that matters.
So what about the drop off between Detective 1000 to 1001 is going to be?
It's going to be big. Even though this storyline for Arkham Knight seems pretty cool. Cool cover B for Red Hood and the Outlaws by Lucio Perillo.
There it is, the final Scooby Apocalypse.
What?
I don't know how they're gonna wrap it up. It didn't look good for our gang after 35. I'm worried. Might be some fatalities. That's Carrie Andrews doing the Wonder Woman V cover. Man, that's nice too.
Adam Hughes is on Superman 10B. That's all that really matters. That thing will fly.
How did we miss that?
Yeah. Those Adam Hughes covers are big. And that's going to be another one.
Dropped the ball, man. Very disappointed. Dan Mora on Wonder Twins B. That's really nice.
Man, DC has some talented artists.
None of them could do interiors, it seems.
Jeez. Alright, anything else in Marvel?
Mm-mm.
Or anything else before we move to Marvel, I should say.
No. Look at those printings of Immortal Hulk. Issue 2 goes to the 4th printing. Issue 4 goes to a 3rd printing. Issue 5 goes to a 3rd printing. Issue 6 goes to a 3rd printing. Man.
I'm interested in this Star Wars Age of the Republic Tarkin. I'm kind of curious what they say about Tarkin there. You don't hear much about Grand Moff Tarkin.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's right. We have Symbiote Spider-Man written by Peter David.
Yeah, we're getting covers by Greg Land.
Art Germ. Oh, look at that. Holy cow.
Is that a... I don't know who that is. Is that Gwen Stacy?
Yeah. Yes, it is. And Marvel is wasting no time reprinting New Avengers 30 for the Ronin #1 for True Believers for $1. You're a Frank Thierry guy, aren't you?
I think so.
Web of Venom, Cult of Carnage #1. Looks pretty wicked. Huh, interesting. Alright, I'm done in Marvel.
Yeah, that's pretty... who's that? Josh Cassara on the cover? Man, that's nice.
Yeah. Alright, I'm down into Dynamite.
The End of Kiss. And the end of Dynamite.
Down into Boom. What was this face? Oh, I'm not much for cheesecake covers, but I did the erotica covers on these ones. I did 2 of them. Figured a Brian Azzarello with a Tula Lotte polybagged. That was well worth doing. So I actually did 2 of those.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought it sounded like a pretty good. I think I actually ordered the first 3 of this book. So I am actually pretty high on it. It sounded like a neat premise. I'm going to go ahead and read it real quick. Faith, sex, the devil. Faith likes to dabble with magic. Her friends think it's cute and not just a little off-putting, but it's part of her charm and her warped search for purpose in the world that makes too much sense. But she's a true believer and knows there is a power within her reach. She's right, of course. It just took a while for that magic, that temptation, that unknown thing to find her. In short, Faith is bored as hell, and hell has noticed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Better keep that polybagged around the family.
Well, I do what I did with all of my sex criminals, and I'll open one and I'll keep one sealed.
Yeah, makes sense. I think, is that all you had up there?
Yes, sir.
Down in Aftershock, we have Orphanage #1, written by Ted Anderson, with art by Nuno Platti. One day, all the adults died all over the world at the same time. Now, it's 20 years later, and the children, all grown up, are still rebuilding the world. I think that sounds like a cool premise.
Yeah. Now, was this a sequel to something? Or no? There was a different book about Burn the Orphanage, but that was a different thing, right? Yeah, that was an Image book. Never mind. Man, you jumped all the way down there. Cold Blood Samurai #1 from Action Lab. Looks kind of interesting. A feudal Japan with anthropomorphic and samurai animals inspired by Homer's poems War of Mice and Frogs.
Not familiar with that one.
Yeah. Anything else back here, sir?
No.
Yeah, I'm not finding a ton either.
Mm-mm.
So, Drew, this is the point of the podcast where I ask you for your pick of the week. What are you going to make sure you're right there at your LCS for? Right there knocking on the door. Making sure you're grabbing it, because it's going to be the next Immortal Hulk.
There's probably that Superman B cover, but
Superman #10, cover B, Adam Hughes.
Yeah, it's probably that, but I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to go with Orphanage #1 from Aftershock.
Orphanage #1 from Aftershock.
And assume it'll be a movie.
There you go. And I am sticking with, I went heavy on Faithless, so I am sticking with Faithless, a 1 in 5 from Boom Studios. Like I said, I did the Tula Lotte polybagged cover, just because I thought it seemed pretty cool by a good artist, and I think I did one of the mains as well. So, not for the faint of heart, but maybe something to look at as well. So, if you agree with Drew and myself, as these are the best things to pick up this week, drop us a line, be part of the discussion, give us a little feedback on that, or if you think we're crazy and you found a better pick this week, make sure you drop that into us as well. Of course, you've got sharing and things to do on Twitter to be part of our giveaways and also part of our discussions. So feel free to give us a line or follow us or get a hold of us any way you see fit. So for Drew and for myself, see ya.